What's going on, YouTube? What's up, Raider Nation? I'm Bubba the Raider coming at you tonight after the Dolphins game to talk about my reaction, my thoughts, my feelings on this season, on the game, and just what's going on. Full disclosure, I don't have any notes. I don't have anything prepared. I'm going off the cusp. I know it's been a while since I've made a video. I talk about this all the time. I'm a teacher. This year's been crazy, and basically the flow has been like this. I started the season feeling really good about making videos, about talking about this team, about all of these things, see where we go. And I start teaching from a distance. It's a learning experience, and I put all of my time and energy into that. And as I'm getting used to that, the Raiders are killing it, crushing it, right? We're beating teams like the Chiefs. We're beating teams like the Saints and the Browns, and we're doing just really well. And sorry if you hear my dogs in the background. And as I'm getting better and better and better, and I'm figuring out this teaching from a distance thing, all of a sudden the Raiders hit a wall. And all of a sudden we start losing. And at that point, I just kind of didn't want to talk about it. Not that I didn't want to make videos, not that I didn't want to be a fan. I just was very, very bothered by what I saw. And have continued to be very, very bothered, probably more so than I have ever been as a fan. Because there's really just no excuse for a lot of it. It's really frustrating. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about why I feel that way. Like what it is that I see, what it is that causes me to harbor the intense emotions that I'm feeling. I know when I come on here, I'm very composed and put together. But if you know me, that's not how I watch football. I used to play football, I coach football. That's not how I do any of those things. So if you've watched this channel for a long time, not very many have, but if you have, or if you go back through my channel and you see that, one of my favorite things that I like to talk about is the draft. I love the draft prospects. I love talking about it. I love watching and scouting and putting together what I think the Raiders should do. And you go back on my videos and you'll see me talk linebacker for 10 years. I want a guy in the middle of this defense who can wear the green dot, who can be the leader of this team, who can shut things down in the middle of the field, who can be good and cut. Like, I want that guy. And you've seen me talk about guys like Tremaine Edmonds and Roquan Smith and Devin White and just all sorts of guys like that in recent years. Kenneth Murray, Patrick Queen, right? And I feel like even before I had this channel, I've screamed linebacker at the top of my lungs for the better part of a decade. And we never, ever address it. We never address it. And it is always an issue. And I know right now you're probably thinking, yo, Bubba, lack of pass rush is the issue. Lack of secondary is the issue. And I don't disagree at all. Not one iota do I disagree with those statements, right? I just feel like when you look at how we've spread our investments, our draft capital to the defense in recent years, we've invested high draft picks on the defensive line. We've invested high picks in the secondary, but we never address it in the middle of the defense, and preferably a linebacker who can be the guy. So that's frustrating to watch our defense crumble all the time. Because as a Raider fan, and this is going to be controversial somewhat, I feel very strongly about what I'm about to talk about. And some fans right now are very heated and have the opposite opinion of me. And that is okay if you feel that way. I'll talk about it with you forever. We can disagree. That's okay. But here's the deal. There are two things I know to be true as a Raider fan. Any given Sunday, every Sunday that we were in the situations that we find ourselves in for the last, 5 weeks pretty much in a row. Here are the two things that I know to be true. I know number one, when we need a drive, When we need to play on offense at the end of the game, when the game is on the line and we need to go 75 yards down the field and score a touchdown or get the field goal or whatever it is, when we need that, I know for a fact that Derek Carr is going to make that happen every single time. I have no doubt in my mind. None. And he does it. He did it twice today. Okay? He did it twice in 4 minutes. He did it twice today. He did it, I know it's whatever, but he did it against the Jets. He's done it against the Chiefs. He did it against the Chiefs when we freaking lost to the Chiefs this year, right? He does it every single time. That's the one thing I know to be true. The number two thing I know to be true is no matter what he does or what our offense does or if we make it happen, our defense will not stop anybody no matter how much time is on the clock. That's the other thing I know to be true, that our defense will not stop you, that they won't stop you, that it is free reign. You do what you want. You do what you want. And that's freaking disgusting. It disgusts me that I'm sitting here watching a defense that in week 16, going into week 16, we have on average given up 30.1 points per game. 30 points per game. And Raider fans are talking about the quarterback. Raider fans are talking about Derek Carr because that's what they always like to talk about. Derek Carr, Derek Carr, Derek Carr. Derek Carr is not the problem. Derek Carr is the furthest thing from the problem. Derek Carr should be traded out of respect for Derek Carr because good Lord Almighty, what are we doing? Do I think Derek Carr is perfect? No. Do I think Derek Carr is flawless? No. Do I think he's entirely blameless in every situation? Not at all. But if you're watching what I'm watching, if you're watching Derek Carr take the team down with less than 2 minutes left in this game, if you're watching him do it against the Chiefs with 1:30 left, if you're watching him do it repeatedly, I know he didn't play last week, but even Marcus Mariota, which, by the way, I'm a diehard Oregon Ducks fan. I have watched every snap of Marcus Mariota's college career. I haven't missed watching a Ducks game or a Raider game since I was 11 years old. I'm now 30. Marcus Mariota is my favorite college football player of all time. So when people come to me on social media talking about how I'm a Marcus hater, don't start that because it's not true. I love Marcus Mariota. This is Derek Carr's team. I pick Derek Carr 10 times out of 10. He's a better quarterback right now. Okay? Just put that out there. But when Marcus Mariota does it in overtime, and our defense just give I don't even have the words to explain how frustrating this is. How frustrating it is, first off, play calling, to call that cover 2. I know Arden Key had the face mask, which is inexcusable, but how about the fact that Damon Arnett on this cover 2, on this weak-ass zone at the end of the game, that he lets freaking whoever that was, Mac Hollins, blow right past him, barely puts a hand up, doesn't contest him at all, and then Isaiah Johnson, who's playing safety for some reason, because everyone's hurt or sick, because, Isaiah Johnson's a better safety option than Demarius Randall, is so late getting over that it's take the face mask out of it. How does Mac Hollins get so wide open in that situation? How do we call such a weak-ass zone in that situation? But we do. We did it again. And, it's just so frustrating to watch this happen again and again and again. It's frustrating. I'm not surprised that we fired Paul Guenther, okay? I was on board with that move. I knew the minute we brought in Rod Marinelli that was the decision that would eventually happen, that if Paul Guenther didn't turn this defense around right now, Marinelli would fill in. I'll tell you my thoughts on Marinelli right now. He, after the Charger loss, right? They asked him in a press conference, they said, something to the effect of, your defense been through a defensive coordinator change, came up short. What are your thoughts? And he says something to the effect of, I am so proud of the way we competed late in the game. This is against the Chargers last week, when we gave up 80-yard touchdown with under 2 minutes left in overtime. And my initial thought right there was fire him. Sign someone new. How are you going to have that mentality? How are you going to be proud about the way we compete when we give up a huge touchdown drive, game-winning touchdown drive, a long drive, quick drive in overtime to lose it? How do those words come out of your mouth? How are you not disgusted with the way that your defense played when they needed to make a play? So I'm on board with, you draft the best possible defensive player. Now, I always gravitate towards the linebacker. I think we need a linebacker. I think we need 3 linebackers. I think we need a free safety. I think we need more corners. I think we need pass rush. I think we need a defensive tackle. I think we need everything on defense, right? I'm okay with whatever as long as it's a good pick. I'm going to continue to study. I'm an Oregon fan, like I said. I'm a big Javon Holland fan. But you need to figure it out, and you need to figure it out right now, because we're going into year 4 of John Gruden's 10-year deal. This can't be the norm. This can't be the expectation. You have the softest second half of your schedule in the NFL, and you can't get it done. It's just inexcusable. Some of the play calling is just inexcusable. It's just disgusting. Offensive play calling, defensive play calling, execution. Our offensive line play in the beginning of the year was incredible. And ever since, I really think it all comes down to that Chiefs game. That second Chiefs game. I was talking to my wife about this, and I was really excited after we lost that game, after we got knocked down a little bit off of cloud 9 where we had been living, that we competed with the Chiefs, that we took it tight, and we threw what should have been the game-winning touchdown, and then our defense again gave up a huge drive with 1:30 left in the game and a touchdown to Travis Kelce, and we lost. And I felt in my heart that was the best thing that could happen to this team, that should light a fire in everyone's belly, and that should be able to push us through to where we have this chip on our shoulder, and we go and we take it, and we take that fire, we take that chip on our shoulder, and we use it to kick ass the rest of the season. And it did the opposite. It broke us. We go out, we freaking get blown out by the Falcons. We barely scrape together a win against the Jets, just barely scrape together a win. We compete with the Colts, but we give that one away. We give it away against the Chargers. It's just gross. It's just gross. It's inexcusable, and it's gross. So, I'll defend Derek Carr. I do believe in my heart that he is not even close to the problem. But I also believe, and it makes sense to me, that if we don't start winning playoff games next year, that Gruden would and probably will move on from him. And it makes sense. And I honestly think it's probably the best thing for Derek Carr, because he deserves better than this. And, if John Gruden gets halfway through his big old contract, he's going to probably want to bring in his own dude. And that makes sense to me, too. But for people saying that, this is Derek Carr's fault, it's not. It's not at all Derek Carr's fault. This is Damon Arnett's fault, and Arden Key's fault, and Trayvon Mullen's fault, and Jonathan Abrams' fault, and Nick Witkowski, and Corey Littleton, and Max Crosby, who I love Max Crosby, by the way. This is like my third take of this video, so I don't think I mentioned in this, but my buddy Micah I went to college with used the Cameo app to reach out to Max Crosby and had him make me a quick little shout out video. It was super cool, so love it. Need him to play better. It's Cleveland Ferrell's fault, even though he didn't play this game, but this season it's Maurice Hurst's fault. It's this defense's fault. And you just need to upgrade it everywhere you can. So that's my thoughts today. I think that it's just gross, and it really pisses me off. Anyway, let me know what you think. If you disagree with me, that's cool. Just let me know. We can talk. Like this video if you like it. Dislike it if you don't. Subscribe if you haven't. And just win, baby.